So first I want to thank all of you guys for giving me the opportunity to come out here and teach you our game. We're really excited to bring this to market. We're going to talk about 3 things today. We're going to talk about our background, our story, mine and Ryan's, and where DotBall came from. We're going to briefly talk about the rules of the game, and then lastly we're going to play. And that's going to be a majority of what we're going to do here. Every time we share our story, I'm not a big talker, I like to play, but everybody tells me it's a great story, you should share it. So Ryan and I met in kindergarten. So we are now just celebrating our 40th birthday, and so we've known each other a long time. We played a lot of sports growing up. We actually adapted a lot of sports growing up. So I actually have a bone disease and I break easy. So I broke my left femur 14 times, my right femur twice. So conventional sports never really worked out for me. So growing up with Ryan, he was always the athlete. First one picked for everything. You sub him in on any team, he's going to do better than the guy that's in there. And that's just who he is. But growing up, I had various levels of physical ability at any given time, depending on what I was dealing with. Ryan took me under his wing, but when we met, I actually tripped and fell on him and broke myself. So I was gone for 4 or 5 weeks waiting to come back. Meanwhile, he's got this huge guilt trip of I broke this kid. So when I came back, he was like my big brother. He just took care of me, everything we did. I remember playing foursquare on our knees in the house because I couldn't walk at the time. I remember playing catch football where you don't one hand or two hand touch, you might knock Mike down. So you catch it, you're down. We did walking basketball, we did all kinds of different things. If you give us a ball and a place to play, we were playing something. We were figuring it out. So in the spirit of that, DotBall is kind of second nature for us. Like here's some things we love and here's some tools we have and let's just make a thing. This is by far one of the best things we've ever come up with. So fast forward, we graduated. Ryan became a PE teacher. He was a teacher for 5 years in Northern California. And then he moved out to Albuquerque. He chased a girl, married her, had 3 beautiful kids. It was the right choice. I feel a little bit abandoned, but I love him and support him. So we try to get together as often as we can. About 2 years ago, he called me up and said, hey, I got a game you got to play. And so he's been working on something in the fire station. Now Ryan was big into spike ball, big into pickleball. And when he became a firefighter, when he came out to Albuquerque, he found a lot of the firefighters are kind of islands in their space. They're on their phones and tablets, they're not really interacting. And a lot of what they do, because they're in the city, is not fire. They're first responders to car accidents, motorcycle accidents, some pretty horrific things. PTSD is a big thing in the fire department with firefighters. And some of the research that he had done was saying like teamwork, friendships, camaraderie, the ability to share those stories really helps with people feeling that they have a support system and a network. And so Ryan went back to what he knows best, playing games. So he brought pickleball into the fire station and the guys had great success with that. They all loved it, but they ended up getting in trouble. The fire team came in and saw all these extra lines in the bay where they parked the trucks. Hey, you can't do that, pull that tape up. So Ryan's like, all right, well, spike ball, you don't need any lines, so just throw it up, we'll play. And what he found was the skill set for spike ball is pretty high to have a good time with spike ball. Your hand and the ball, it's a very inconsistent way of passing the ball. And even though these firefighters are in great shape, they're not all the best athletically inclined, especially with their hand-eye coordination. So he got half the team playing, half the team sitting down. That doesn't work for Ryan. Everybody plays all the time, 100% participation. So slowly but surely, he brought the paddle back into it. He brought different pieces back. So Ryan has been working on this for probably about 3 to 5 years in his mind, just working through things that worked, things that didn't work. So when I came out, I looked at the game and I said, dude, you got something special here. Now before that, I owned my own business, and I don't know if any of you own your own business. Owning a business takes all the fun out of owning a business. And I told Ryan, I'm never gonna own my own business again. All the background office work, all that stuff, I was like, I'm out, I'm done. But I'm gonna help you get this thing started. And so I came home, I built a couple prototypes, I sent it to him. I said, hey, what do you think? The table's too tall. Okay, we'll drop it down. Paddle's too short. Okay, we'll make a new paddle. So I went through 5 or 6 different renditions of prototypes in my garage. I was having a blast with it. Finally, he came up, he says, dude, I gotta be honest, I think we're honed in on where we need to be, but I don't wanna do this without you. And I was hoping he'd say it, because by the time I got there, I was having so much fun. I was like, you know what? I'll muscle through all the background stuff, because we're selling fun. And this game is something special. And so that's where DotBall came to be, and we're really proud of what we've come up with. We have spent the last 2 years working through manufacturing, design, all this stuff. We got our first batch of inventory at the end of August. So we got a whole container, 1,000 units, and we are super excited to bring it to market. Ryan's background with PE really motivated a lot of the design features. The compact, the portability, just the durability. We were balancing these things the entire time. Durability, portability, and cost. And it was a tough balance. I think we found a really good spot, and I'm really excited about where we're at. So that's our story. If you have any questions about that, want me to elaborate, I'll be hanging out. Feel free to come talk to me. But I want to get into gameplay, so we're going to move on. Dot ball plays a lot like spike ball meets pickleball. So how many of you guys have played spike ball? All right. How many of you guys have played pickleball? All right. Perfect. So with that, we play in a 3 versus 3 or 2 versus 2. So some age groups who do pair sports instead of teams, you can actually keep dot ball through that curriculum so they can work on those skill sets every year if you want to. So it plays the same way. You got your bump, you got your set, you got your spike. The thing that's different is we also allow for a bounce between each touch. So when the ball comes off the table, I can let it bounce. I can bump it, let it bounce, set it, let it bounce, and then spike it off the table. So it slows the game down. By adding a paddle to the game, you have a much more predictable interaction with the ball versus your hand. So what you'll find is kids at younger ages are going to have more success. They have a little bit of success, and that leads to, I want to try again, and more success, and try again, and all of a sudden, before you know it, they're getting really high in their skill set. And the earlier you can get success in any sport, the better off you're going to be. Now, for the next hour-ish, we're going to be learning DotBall360. If you go back to some of your favorite sports, my example is basketball. I love playing basketball. I didn't learn basketball in an hour. I learned football in the hoop. Then I learned, oh, you got to dribble. Then I learned, oh, I can't use two hands. Then I learned about free throws, fouls, all the things. Then I hit 5'4" and realized my dream was over. So, but if you feel like you are drinking out of a fire hose and this is a little overwhelming, it is. Like, we're going to learn an entire sport in an hour. So my goal is not for you to know every little nuance rule, every little thing, but give you a taste of what it can be and hopefully pique that interest where you're like, hey, I want to play that again. That was fun. And at the end of the day, that's why we're here. We're here to have fun. So, so what we're going to do in a moment, not right now, but when I say, we're going to line up. You see we got paddles and balls on the floor. All the paddles are lined up with a table. And you have a one ball between the partners. What we're going to start doing is volleying. I guess I should preface this. So basically what I'm going to do today is kind of roll through the curriculum or kind of the day plan that I've been doing all week. So I've been doing guest teach spots around the area all week and just kind of rolling through about an hour with the kids. It's been eye-opening. It's been an experience. I am exhausted. You guys, I don't know how you do it every day. It is incredible. But we're going to roll through that so you can get some ideas. Now, I don't have a teaching background, so I'm going to fall down. You guys are going to have better ideas than I could come up with. And I hope to hear those, and please share those. I'm going to try to do the things that work throughout the week, and we're going to see how it goes. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pair up first.
Are we going to look at that video?
Yes, we are.
Thank you. Yes, we are. I want to see what it looks like playing on there.
So to be fair, I haven't had a video all week. We just go right into gameplay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at a video here of how to play. The goal here is just to see where we're going to be or where our goal is, so we kind of get a feel for the skills we're developing today. So we should be able to go ahead and hit play.
Gameplay. Each team gets a maximum of 3 hits to return the ball back to the table. Each player also may utilize a bounce on the ground between each contact. Once the ball hits the table, it switches possession to the other team. Bounce 1, volley. Bounce 2, bounce 3, switches possession. 1, 2, 3, switches possession. Players don't have to use the bounce. You may hit the ball any direction. There is no sides or boundaries. Once a team cannot return the ball back to the table cleanly, a point is awarded. If the ball bounces twice consecutively on the ground, the point is awarded. If the ball hits the edge of the table or goes under the table, point is awarded. Has to be clean off the table. If you hit the ball into your teammate, point is awarded to the other team. Once the ball hits the table, it automatically switches possession to the other team. You may hit the ball onto the table on the first, second, or third hit. Games are played to 15. Must win by 2. DotBall360 is a team sport. Working together as a team, reading the angles and covering ground. Communication and teamwork is key. Serve rotation.
So 3D Pig's a little proud of that. All right. So for the purpose of today's strategy, we are going to try to bump, set, and spike everything. You can hit it back on 1, you can hit it back on 2, but we want to practice that bump, set, and spike. What tends to happen is you'll have the kids that just spike it back and forth off the table. And that's not what the game is, and you're not going to have a lot of fun doing that. So we really want to use our team members and set them up for success. Any questions before we start?
Yes, for a slower skill level, would you add 8? Could you add 8?
Absolutely. So the set comes with 6 paddles, but you could definitely do 8, you could definitely do 10. The more people you have around the table, the less you have to move. The more likely you are to smack somebody with a paddle. So it's kind of, you know, pick your poison. At a high level, we played 5-on-5. We usually have 2 defenders deep that are rolling, and then 2 or 3 kind of at the table pinching shots and that kind of thing. 5-on-5 was pretty crowded. It was a little rough. 4-on-4 worked pretty well, but 3-on-3 we find to be the best, which is why the set comes with 6 paddles. Okay? Any other questions? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to partner up, and we're going to line up with our partner, and we're going to start balling. Not right now, I'm going to demonstrate the volley. So most of you guys know what volley means. Ball's in the air, does not hit the ground. So your partner is going to hit it to you, you're going to hit it back. We're going to see how many times you do that without it hitting the floor. If it hits the floor, that's okay. Try to stay lined up with the table. And break it down. I heard This is not a game with smack the ball and chase it. This is a game of finesse and control. So if you hit the ball, and you will, and it goes errant, you gotta run across 3 people to get your ball back, don't chase it. Raise your paddle in the air, I will throw you in the ball. We're trying to keep the balls moving, we're not trying to chase the balls down. If you take a look that direction, you're gonna see 6 tables lined up on that wall. That is approximately how wide you should be apart from your partner. The tendency is everybody backs up. So I, as a teacher, I have an alley to walk through where I'm not interfering with anybody's game. And I can keep my eye on everybody. And I can have people step in and step out. And I know where I can be and where I can't be. The idea here, again, is slow and control. Your kids are going to want to back up and hit as hard as they can at each other. We're trying to keep them from doing that. So our goal is to volley it about 10 to 12 feet in the air. Well, you notice this ball is squishy. It doesn't bounce like a tennis ball. So you want to hit the ball up, that if it bounces, your team member has time to get to it. I think that's all I got. I'm going to drive the ball. If anything goes crazy, raise your pile, I'll throw you the ball.
Come on, Moose.
Oh, that was terrible. That's on me.
Good job. What you probably found right there is that's pretty hard. The ball comes in, has momentum, it has spin. It makes it hard to predict how it's going to interact with the paddle. So right now what we're going to do is add the bounce, which is crucial for DotBall. Bounce is going to do two things for us. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to give us more time. So if I'm balling every shot, I have this much time. If I let it bounce, I have twice as much time. That's the first thing it's going to do. The second thing it's going to do is it's going to pull momentum off the ball and spin. So it's going to give you a more predictable interaction with my paddle. When that ball comes in really fast, I can let that bounce and get a nice predictable shot. Does that make sense? So I'm going to grab a partner right here. And what my goal is not for the ball to land on my partner. I want the ball to land about 3 feet from my partner. That way they have a nice controlled shot back to me, and we're going to aim for 3 feet in front of me. Again, we're trying to hit about 10 to 12 feet. Just like that. We're going to see how many times we can do that without losing the ball. Any questions?
Luckily, I didn't swing.
Okay, that one felt good. Now we're fine.
They might take a little extra time. My goal is kind of move through quickly so we can play, because that's more fun. But so you kind of gauge and see if you're really struggling. Do you guys notice me? Yes.
You guys finish your sentence.
Oh, all right. If you guys noticed me in the first round, I was throwing balls out like candy. That second round, I think I threw 2 balls out. So your control and where you were placing the ball just got significantly better. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the design of the ball? Like, what was the intention of not making it as bouncy as a tennis ball?
So the intention on that, so everything about this table is on purpose. From the grip tape on the top, the height of the table, and the switching of the ball. The ball, we tried a lot of balls. We tried tennis balls, the 60%ers, and the 36, QSC 60s, QSC 36. We also tried racquetballs, we tried pickleballs. The goal of the ball is to slow the game down. So So your defense has balancing offense and defense. If the ball moves too fast, the offense has too much advantage. And you don't get fouls. You just get people crushing. You don't have side outs, a lot of aces. So the idea behind the switch of the ball was to slow it down when you interact with your paddle, slow it down when you interact with the table, and then slow it down when you interact with the ground. And that way on defense, you have more time. Because every time we slow the ball down, it gives you more time. So that's the goal. When we played with a lot of them, this was by far the best.
What grade level do you take it down to?
So before this week, I would have said 4th and 5th grade. After this week, and the lack of paddle skills that I've experienced, I would say middle school and up.
Yeah, because these are heavy for elementary.
Yeah, so on the table we have some prototypes of some K5 that are going to start. I am a firm believer the sooner you get a paddle in the kid's hand, the better they're going to be. I've been starting Ryan's sons. He's got a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, and an 8-year-old. His 6-year-old and 8-year-old will step in when we're doing tournaments and be the third person. And they're not the best. Every now and then they get a shot out and you're just like, where did that come from? His 4-year-old, we nicknamed him Speed Bump. He comes running through this paddle, he tries to hit any ball that's close to him. And you gotta work around him. And I tell you what, every time he hits the ball with the paddle, he's learning something. Oh, I can hit it this far. It spun off my paddle this way. And I swing like this, it went that way. And all of those skills, by the time he gets into 3rd, 4th grade, he's probably gonna be really good. But he also gets to play a lot. So that's a big thing. So I would say probably middle school now. Some ideas on K5. You might start with just a paddle on the ball, hit it across that line. And then as they start getting distance, they're okay, now put some hoops out there, good targets. Try to hit it in that hoop. Every time they hit the ball's paddle, they're going to learn something. By the time they get into 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, if they can predict where that ball's going to go, they can play off. So just the sooner we get the paddles in the kids' hands, the better. All right, so we just learned the bump and the set. The only difference between the bump and the set is the set goes to a specific location. A bump is to give your partner time to get to it so they can set it to a specific location. But it's an underhand controlled pass. Now we're going to learn the spike and serve, which is the same mechanic. It is the overhand strike. Again, we're not trying to hit our partner. We're not trying to hit their feet. We're going to pick a spot right between us and them and serve it overhand so that it's nice and easy to catch. So I'm going to go ahead and serve it, and they're going to catch it. Then they're going to serve it back to me. I'm going to catch it. It's going to look like this. Perfect. Eventually we will have power. Right now we are looking for control. You're going to pick a spot on the floor. If you look at this table, this is the size of your target. The closer you are to hitting the spot on the floor, the easier it's going to be to hit the target when we get there. You'll notice when we start playing, that target looks big now. When you're 3-4 feet off that target, it's hard to hit with a paddle. So you want to be able to have that control. Are there any questions? You can't, right now probably not, just because people might step on the foot. It might be something where they have those rubber dots you might do. Yeah. So that would be a good idea if you want to line up start. So when you get to 11 feet is the official serving distance. What we say for kids is you search the skill set. Most kids are going to start at the table and hit it just like that. They start playing angles and trying to aid people through the back. They start really crushing it 11 feet. If they're hitting that, that's just impressive. Any other questions? All right, let's serve and pass. Serve and pass.
It's really nice for you really do a lot of things. They don't have. It's not my cell entry.
Perfect. You guys made that look easy. Each of these cats that we're doing usually take about 5-7 minutes. It just depends on how the kids are doing. Obviously, you guys have had skills so we can move through these a little quicker. So now what we're going to do is we're going to combine the skills we just learned. We're going to serve the ball. We're going to bump it back to our partner. Then we're going to set it back to our partner, and we're going to catch it. So it's going to be an overhand strike, an underhand bump, an underhand set, and a catch. So overhand, underhand, underhand, catch. If you do it right, you're going to alternate serving, so you get to take turns. All right. So what we're going to do, what that's going to look like is this right here. I'm going to strike it overhand. You're going to return it back to me underhand, ideally bouncing right in front of me. And I'm going to set it back. She's going to catch it. Now she's going to serve to me. I'm going to bump it back. She's going to bump it back. I'm going to catch it. Now I get to serve again. That's what this looks like. Any questions?
Serve, under,
You're going to have a little tougher time with that mechanic. And I'll take a break and I'll stop them and say, hey, you're working on that skill set, that's okay. Keep doing that. If you want to step it up and you want to challenge, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the catch out of the cycle. We're going to move to what we call pepper play. Pepper play, the ball keeps moving. It does not stop. What that looks like is a serve, to a bump, to a set, to a spike, to a bump, to a set, to a spike. And you keep that ball going. Alright. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to serve it. I'm going to bump it back. She's going to set me up. I'm going to spike. She's going to bump. I'm going to set. She's going to spike. I'm going to bump. She's going to bad bump. She's going to set. I'm going to spike. Bump. Set. And spike.
I never would have thought about
You can only hit it once. No, you can only hit it one time. You have to use your partner. Any questions? Yes, it does not bounce as well though.
Your turn is not
We got some good pepper playing now. Our bump set and slide, we got all the skills we need to be successful. So we're going to have the party. So you should be in a line. You want to collapse down to the table and line up behind the table. If you're on the end over there, we're going to have blue hoops right there. Come on down and line up behind the table. This side of the table. There should be 5 or 6 people in the head count. There might be 7 or 8. If you see a short line, get in a short line. You're going to play more. If you see a long line, you're going to play less. All right. So if you notice, when I started this out, the paddles are out there, black orange, black orange, black orange. That was the test. I hadn't done that before. I think it failed. It may or may not. I don't know. We're going to find out. But the idea now is I just changed who's partnered with who. You pick your partner in the beginning, that's my friend. I'm going to play my friend. That's cool. Then you get the class now, I'll be your friend in that line. Oh man, I'm going to make a difference. Ideally, you'd have 3 people in this line with orange paddles, 3 people with black paddles. When we break the plays, you got your team. They're already done, and they're people you don't know. You're taking it a little more seriously. All right, now we're going to move into serving it off the table. So what that's going to look like is the person in the front of the line is going to walk around where I am, not now, but when I say, and they're going to be the catcher. All they're going to do is catch the ball. They're going to toss it back to the server. The server is going to serve it out of their hand. Right now, we're not at 11 feet. Right now, we're serving to skill set. If you're right here, that's totally fine. If you're back a couple feet, I probably wouldn't go any further back than about 3 feet. That's a good place to start. And all that's going to look like is we're going to do overhand, just like we practice. We're going to try to hit that center of the table.
You score.
Yeah,
It's also nice.
It's setting our partners up for success. I don't want to be here to back off. So we're just going to practice hitting the table.
Asking for a friend.
Okay, all right. Let me take a step back.
Simmer down.
I'm going to catch it. I'm going to toss it back. We're going to get 3 tries. That's 2. If we hit the table, that's awesome. If we don't, that's okay. That's why we get 3 tries. Once we've tried 3 times, the server's going to come, he's a catcher. The catcher's going to go to the back of the line. We're going to cycle through. If you happen to get to the end, try to jump in when you find at least once or twice so you can play with the actual table. But make sure we're cycling through and everybody gets a turn. Are there any questions? All right, front of the line, come around, be the catcher. If you have extra balls, leave them on the table. Chase.
Toss that one away. There you go. Awesome. 2, 3 for 3.
Wait, now rotate.
That's okay.
Target.
Hold the ball. Sorry. We can use the time. We're going to start doing this so we get more gameplay. Simply, you make sure that everybody gets a chance. The next step, what we're going to do is we are going to set the table and eat at the table. That is an expression we use in DotBall all the time. It generates some comedy. The kids love it. We kind of work through it. So when you go and you set up for dinner, you set the table. You still work out. You get ready. Then you come up and you eat. And that's what we're going to do right now. So if you set your partner, what you're going to find out, if I'm standing back here, this set is a tough shot. I'm 3 or 4 feet off the table. That's going to be a tough thing. If they set the table, I can eat this up all day long. I have angles, I can push, I can pull, I can tweener, I can do whatever I want, right? So that's where we want to set the ball. And we want to set our partners up for success. What a good set looks like is the ball will be falling on the side of the table with your partner, because they will be able to play any angle they want. A bad set looks like a ball coming at your partner's face, because they're just going to try to play defense. That ball is going to be very uncontrolled. So I'm not going to step to the table. We're going to go straight to overhand motion. We're going to get right out of the air. So I'm going to set him up for success. He's going to set the table. He just had dinner. Let's do it again. Bam! All right. We do that 2 times. Rotate through. We're going to do the same exact thing, except the catcher is setting the table. Any questions? All right. Set me up. All right. Here we go.
All day long.
Oh, I got that one. You ready? Put it right to your dominant hand. Ooh, I just saved a home run.
There we go. All right. I really I'm sorry.
My turn. Gone. And the Rangers beat the Astros.
I'd like to bring everybody in and give us about 5 to 10 feet behind the people that I picked. So just right in here, we're going to demonstrate what these looks like. Uh-oh, we got overachievers over here. All right. I like it. All right. So what this is going to look like is the black team is going to serve the orange team. This is my team. I want to bump and set to my team. I want to set my team up for success. Orange bounce. This is the orange team. I do not want to bump or set to them. They don't want to bump or set to me. So you got to pay attention to who's on your team and where they are.
Question.
Yes?
If you send it to them, do they get to play it? They don't have to wait for 2, 3 contacts?
If I send it to them.
Once it hits the table, then it changes.
Then it changes.
Yeah, so the table acts as the net. So volleyball, when the ball goes over the net, changes possession. Ball hits the table, changes possession. Just like cycle. So I'm going to go ahead and serve it to the orange team. We're going to bump, set, and spike. Again, for the sake of today's lesson, we are looking to bump, set, and spike. You can hit it back on 1. You can hit it back on 2. But what's going to happen is you're going to kill rallies, and the kids that are really good are going to come up and crush every shot. Nobody's going to get the flow, nobody's going to have fun. So we want to bump, set, and spike every time. That way we can predict on defense where that's going to be and start to learn that skill set, because that's where a lot of people drop off.
And if we were to hit, just making sure, the side.
So edge of the table is no good. Under the table is no good. Double bounce on the table, no good. 1 clean bounce off the top of the table. If the serve is crappy, I get 2. You guys only get 1, no, I'm kidding. So it's just like tennis, you get 2. I always make the joke, I make the game, so I make up rules till I win. But no, so you get 2 serves if the first one misses the table, or hits an edge or whatever. All right, so we're going to demonstrate what that looks like. We're going to bump. We're going to set that table. We're going to have Derek. We're going to bump. I'm going to set that table, and he's going to have Derek. He's going to bump. All right, you want to set it. There you go. Set that table. Scored that point. Black team did not ball back to the table. Okay. For the time being, we're going to give this a shot. If you have the ball in your hand, go ahead and serve. We're going to try to do serve rotation in a little bit and get a feel. As you can see, this takes a little bit of space, and it might get a little bit crowded. Feel free to grab the tables. They have handles on each side. The legs themselves fit into grooves. So if it's baby deering on you, just go ahead and line it up and set it back in its groove. And then spread out, and you get 6. You get 3 orange paddles, 3 black paddles per table.
Any questions? All right, here we go. We serve for you guys.
Why is the bounce? That's not and I have
Questions?
rotate through. The purpose of the serve rotation is crucial. You can't have one person that just practice serves and aces their way to victory. You get to serve as much as the person that's not good at serving. In fact, they need to serve more because they're going to miss the table, so you can serve twice per opponent. So what we're going to do is orange is going to serve the ball. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to play this point. We got a bump. We got a set. We got a spike. All right. Now everybody is back where they started. The black team on defense is going to rotate clockwise. So we're going to go here.
There's a regular one here.
So now we're going to get the ball back to the corner. We're going to go ahead and serve. Okay? We're going to set. And we're going to spike. We're going to bump. We're going to set. We're going to spike. This is orange serve. Let's say orange, for the sake of time, double faulted. Because that was a great rally to just move on. Everybody wants to play too. Alright, so they double fault. Now, the serve actually rotates. So that third point to this defender was a double fault. She's going to throw the ball to the black team. Everybody's going to stay put when the ball switches possessions on serve. That way, as you rotate through, it will cycle through everybody in turn. If you rotate when you trade the ball, somebody's going to end up serving twice in a row. So not everybody's going to get a chance to serve. So now the black team serves, let's say they score a point. Now orange is on defense, orange is going to rotate. Orange is going to rotate again. And they're going to rotate 3 times because the black server has served each opponent 1 time. Every serve scores a point, regardless of who serves it. You play to 15, win by 2. Are there any questions?
Yeah.
guys had fun? All right. How many of you guys want to play again? How many of you guys have played another hour? I played 5 hours straight until both my knees said, stop it, you're 40. Then the 27-year-olds tore us up. It was rough. I want to show you how this table breaks down. The reason I want to do this is yesterday I was out of school and I tried, here's my better judgment, to let the kids break the table down. And so the table is built to be durable. It's built to last. We don't want kids standing on it or sitting on it. It can hold some weight, but it's not intended to. What we need to do on the legs, we would do a lot of different legs to get to where we are. You get wobbly legs, it takes so much momentum out of the ball, the game doesn't play well. So we have these legs actually engineered. They are steel square bar. There's 2 grooves that the leg sits in. You need to pull the leg up and then fold it down. If you go to fold this down, you'll be able to, but you're going to tear the screws right out of the board. And that's what happened yesterday with some kids. Now it gives you resistance. It tells you, hey, don't do that. But you know how kids are. They don't care. I'm strong enough. Bang. So you need to just pull it up. What I do is I put my feet on the board just like this, and just nice and gently pull it up. Set it down. Okay? The other thing that we ran into yesterday, these 2 discs rotate. The idea of those discs is to line the top of the table up so you don't end up with a seam. You hit the ball on the seam, all of a sudden you get a weird trajectory. That's not fun. So we want to line that table up. We also don't want the table to smack close on our fingers. So that will prevent that from happening. If you grab both sides and you close it, you'll be able to do it. It's going to resist, but it's going to tear up the plastic around it. So we want to make sure these discs are in that position so that when we pull that table up, it's not going to tear it up. So just nice and easy. What I would recommend is you know who your students are. Some of them are going to take it seriously. Some of them are going to break everything. Pick the kids that take it seriously to put the table away. From there, you got 4 spots for balls, 6 spots for paddles. I find it easiest to put the handle of the paddle in, set it down. Those 6 paddles are going to fit in this table. That way when you put this away, you know I have my balls, I have my paddle, I'm just going to go store this up. This folds up like a briefcase, and it locks up. From here, you've got carrying handles. You want to take this anywhere, you can take it anywhere. We played it on a tennis court. We played it on turf. We played it in a gym. We played it on a beach. You don't get the bounce. That skill set elevates. The speed of the game elevates. It's still crazy fun. Crazy. Even an old man like me, I can die for it. So, that...
So I'm older than you.
I'm 40 pushing 80. Okay. So we designed this to be compact. We know a lot of you guys have very limited storage areas. Our goal was to make something that was convenient for you, that you knew where everything was. Ryan was a PE teacher, organizing nets, paddles, balls, trying to get all the things you need, bring them down. We wanted to make it easy, and that's what we tried to do here. We are always open for feedback. If something's going to work better than what we've got, please let us know. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, as far as ordering, I have 1 more set brand new in the box. If anybody wants to take one home today, we can get that at a discount. It's $189. All right. The first hand I saw. For the rest of you, we have, I think, 500 units left. So you're fine. If you go on our website, we're at $199 with $10 a ship. And you go through and place those orders. If you do need to do a quote and go through and get a PO with your school district, we have a button that says request quotes. Tell me how many you want. I'll put the quote together, send it to you, you send it in, see if they'll approve that funding, and we'll go.
Foundation for Edmond Schools. This is a terrific thing that I'd love to see for grants. They will fund it. Yes.
So, on our curriculum.
Oh, go to the website.
You don't have the paperwork that you fill?
It's all online.
We have a full 15-day lesson plan, 75-page curriculum, free for download on our website. If you want to teach DotBall to your kids, we do not want to get in your way. You can teach DotBall with hula hoops and pickleball paddles. You do not need a set. I would encourage you, if you want to teach DotBall, try to pick up 1 set. Put it in the middle of the gym. Do a round robin session for all the kids who can play on the set. Practice the skill sets on hula hoops. You get buy-in from the kids. I love this game. Now you know it's not going to collect dust in the closet somewhere. And then you can try to get that funding. So yeah, so on the website, $199 for the set. That is our promotional launch price that we're doing right now. Eventually we get to $249, and when we get into retail spaces, because we need more margin to work with. Our goal is to hold that discount for education as long as margins will support it. So, I'm trying to think of anything else I had.
You did not charge us anything to come today, so thank you very much.
Awesome job. I don't want you to walk away here thinking everyone in your class is going to be this good. You probably know better than I do. Any questions for me on the business of DotBall, the sport of DotBall, our batch series? I can get to wrap up.
How'd you come up with the name?
DotBall. So DotBall is an acronym. Down on table. So instead of hitting it over the net, you're hitting down on table. The other thing that worked out really well is that URL was available and cheap. So we played with a lot of night actually, introducing to it, there wasn't a name. So as we were playing it, a lot of times all had some dots. And so that's kind of where it started moving, and then it just kind of gained wheels and went. Any other questions? Awesome. Thank you guys so much.